Everyone to the finances lecture. Let's take a look at what we'll be learning in this unit. Pretty much you're going to learn how to evaluate the profit and risk for an entrepreneurial venture and determine how those play in a role of decision making and demonstrate and understanding of how establish and use appropriate records based on the needs of a business. So what we're going to be doing here is creating a balance sheet to open up your business, pretty much taking out a loan. So you see right here the basics of financials. So what we're going to be looking at is assets. What does it mean to have an asset? What it is for liabilities and owner's equity, and then what is truly a balance sheet and what does that look like? So let's go ahead and get started with the assets. Okay, so you can see that this is cash, inventory, supplies, land and building that you own, accounts receivable. Pretty much what assets are, anything that is worth money that you actually own. So again, when you have cash, that is an asset. That's a liquid asset because you can spend it. When you have inventory, that is something that you own that you have value. So when you look at these pictures over here, yes, a house, a building, something that you can make money off of. So if you are looking at your classmates right now, or even yourself, you guys have assets on you right now. You can sell your clothes, you can sell your phone, you can sell your backpack. Okay, anything that is worth something that you own. Move on to liabilities. This is stuff that you owe money on. So cash, if you got a loan, awesome. The cash is an asset because you can use it, but you have to pay back that loan. So that's actually an expense that you're going to have to pay someone else for loaning you that cash. Wages, you have to pay wages. So again, that's an expense. Interest, taxes, everything that you have to pay. And like I said, land and building, if a loan, just like I said with cash. So you might have a piece of property, you might have a building that you own, but if you have a loan out on that, that's a liability because you have to pay. No matter what you make, you know a designated amount has to go to that. And then accounts payable, so anything, utilities, anything like that where you owe someone is what that means. Owner's equity, okay, this is capital. So this is maybe the reserve cash that you have, savings, like I said, or current earnings. So anything that you're looking at equity, so something that you own that has value that you have. So that's why I have that piggy bank right there. So that the difference pretty much between an asset and owner's equity is not much different. The thing is that we just have to have this balance sheet that we're going to talk about in the next slide. So we have to have that equal. So again, if an investor gives you money, yeah, you have just earned cash, but you've also just earned capital. So it's kind of for things that it's not a loan, right? Like you didn't take out a loan. Someone just gave you this money. You've made money off of your products. This is owner's equity. So a balance sheet, very, very simple, is assets equals liabilities. So what you have, what you own, has to also equal your liabilities of what you're giving out. Or when you really break it down, assets is liabilities plus owner's equity. So we got to make sure that this is balanced, that we have money that are equal on both sides. So let's really take a look at what that means, because kind of off of this slide, kind of confusing, but when we show some examples here, it really clarifies some things. So we can see how this is set up. So we have ABC company right here. So their current assets, you can see right there, is cash. Very, very good. Fixed long-term assets. So investments, property, plant, equipment, right? And then when you even look up here, your inventory. Now, these are just examples that we're giving out. The big thing that we need to check out is that total assets equals total liabilities and owner equity. So it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to see these numbers completely match up because there are a lot of different financial budgets or ways of calculating, because we have income statement, cash flow. So it's not perfect. We're just using this one, using a balance sheet to take out a loan. So again, we have current liabilities, so accounts payable. This is the money that they owe. Short-term loans has nothing, but same thing. Payable taxes, all these different long-term liabilities. So this could be maybe a building if they were renting, something like that. Owner's investment, retained earnings. Okay, when you look at the equity, so again, owner's investment, how much did they put in? So $6,000. Retained earnings. This company has made $5,567. So again, all we have to do is make sure these are matched up. In our activity, guys, this is going to be a lot simpler because you are just pretty much going to match the numbers. Here you go. Here's XYZ company. So we're looking at that, cash at the bank. So again, they can go and get that inventory, debitors, all of that. So people that owe them money. Then you have non-current assets, so building, plant equipment, vehicles. Very, very good. I really like this example. I like this one as well, but the XYZ is really, really nice. Then we have credit cards. So again, current liabilities. This is the company credit card, how much they owe to their creditors. Looking at that, tax payable, long-term loan, and then equity, how much capital, retained earnings, and current earnings. So this could be retained earnings, could be all the years before. Current earnings could be as of this year. So again, you just want to make sure that these are all matching up. And again, if you added these up with this, that's what it would end up being. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. That's the lecture part. There's a couple things that I would like for you guys to look at when we're talking about finances. There's a couple of articles here that are really, really good. Tips from Forbes, 5 tips from the Small Business Administration, okay, and then angel investing. Great articles that really give you more in-depth. So make sure that you are looking for those. And then I'm going to finish this unit with showing videos from Mark Cuban and Gary Vaynerchuk, and just really talking about taking out money for a business. I know we have to do it because it's part of the class, and this is the most common way people will get money for their business, but these two have a really great point of view on why you should not take out a loan for your business, and I think it's really, really good. We'll go more in depth in the second semester with these two and on this topic of finances and investing and all of that, but that is the unit. We will be creating a balance sheet. That's what you'll need to do for your company to say how much money you need to take out, which will be very, very good. We'll do a couple activities just to make sure that we really understand this. So that is finances, a unit in small business ownership. See you in the next video.
How do I describe you? I was saying, entrepreneur, Dallas Mavericks owner, Shark Tank star. You do it all, Mark.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but entrepreneur, that works.
You and I were talking earlier today on one of the panels, and you made some really fascinating points about innovation right now in this country, and all that needs to be done to encourage it, to encourage small businesses. What do you think overall is the most important thing for new entrepreneurs right now?
Just to go after it. I mean, the thing about being an entrepreneur is it's just all to you. A lot of people like to make excuses. I don't have connections. I don't have money. I don't have this. But, if you find something that you like to do or love to do, be great at it and see if you can turn it into a business. In worst case, you're going to have fun doing what it is you love to do. In best case, you can turn it into a business. I'm just not big on excuses. I just think if everybody has that opportunity to go for it. They just got to do it.
Well, a lot of people say it's hard to get a loan right now if you're a small business owner. Or you're trying to come up with an idea. How do you get the capital to start that business?
Well, first of all, if you're starting a business and you take out a loan, you're a moron. Right, because there's so many uncertainties involved with starting a business, yet the one certainty that you'll have to have is paying back your loan. And the bank doesn't care about your business, or whoever you borrow from, unless it's family, doesn't care about your business. And so it's just a complete conflict. So
what's your small business entrepreneur?
99% of small businesses you can start with next to no capital. It's more about effort. Small businesses don't fail for lack of capital. They fail for lack of brains. They fail for lack of effort. Most people just aren't willing to put in the time to work smart. I mean, they go for it in a lot of cases, but they just don't recognize how much work's involved. And if you do the preparation, if you start a business, you better know your industry and your company better than anyone in the whole wide world, because you're competing. And to think that whoever it is you're competing with is just going to let you come in and take their business, obviously that's naive. And I think most people don't recognize that. If you're going to compete with me on one of my businesses, you better realize that I'm working 24 hours a day to kick your ass.
You know, a lot of companies right now are holding on to their money. They're holding on to cash. Maybe they're doing some share buybacks.
Right.
But in general, they're not putting their capital to work right now. How and when?
Hey everybody, this is Gary Vaynerchuk, and I felt compelled to make this video predicated on the fact that because of the show that I'm doing right now, the Ask Gary V show, D-Rock, link it up, little window, you guys saw, cool. I've been getting a question over and over and over and over again, and even though I've done 123 episodes as of this taping, I like that, recording, I haven't really addressed this on the show because it's such a crazy, crazy question that I want to address as an individual video, and that's what I'm doing right now. The question is the following: Gary, how do I raise money from an angel investor and VC? And this is happening, and this is an epidemic, excuse me. This is a real issue at hand, hundreds of times a day. Gary, how do I do this? Gary, how do I do this? And it's literally a kind of question that really marks the times, where 99% of the entrepreneurs that I'm interacting with, all of their behavior is predicated on raising the next round of money versus actually building a business. So very simply, my friends, I'm going to answer it. And very honestly, I'm doing this video for selfish means, because every time I get this question, 1,000 a day, I'm just going to point to this video. As a matter of fact, I get it asked so much, this may be the most watched video I have in my career because so many goddamn people ask this question, and I'm going to give you the answer. The number one way to raise money from a VC and an angel investor is to build a good enough business that they all come to you. That's right. Here's a novel idea in 2015. Why don't you build a profitable business that builds real value, that has real customers that pay in whatever form that means, business model, whether it's a freemium or an advertising where you sell stuff. And why don't you build so much momentum and earned media and hype and leverage and power, and why don't you have people actually emailing you, asking you to have a meeting and asking you to actually take their money, begging you to take not only their money, their smart money, because you're getting the best angels, super angels, VCs pounding your door because you're winning. How about you actually execute and then drive the behavior backwards? I think that's how you do it. And I don't want to hear like, oh, like, what if you have no money? Like, you know, live a life that's predicated on no money. A lot of people live with no money. Get 7 friends, live in a goddamn studio apartment, live in your mom's basement, find your partner coder, build your damn app and hustle. Like, that's how you raise money.